Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Dumb Dad Podcast. My name is Evan, and I'm a dumb dad.
Hey, everybody. My name is Kevin, and I'm a dumb dad.
How are you, buddy?
I'm good. Cheers.
Cheers to you, and cheers to the people out there, the parents out there that are into the thick of it.
Let's ask it. Let's ask the question.
Okay.
Okay. As of this recording,
What is time?
who still has their holiday decorations up?
Oh. Out front, still got a couple.
You got to. I know. I went to your house this morning,
Yeah.
and it was so festive.
What were you doing in my house? Just checking in on you.
Nothing.
Just looked in a few windows.
You're out of chicken nuggets, by the way.
Yeah, still a couple out front. I can't make an excuse. The thing I was going to say, I mean, it has been raining really hard, so it's like the days we're like, this would be a good morning to go do it. It pours rain. Then it has been a day and a half or so. Hasn't really been that long, I guess. I think the rain broke one of our trees. Little light up thing.
No, man.
Doesn't light up anymore.
Yeah.
The rain won.
The magic is gone.
Yeah.
We still got some stuff in the house and outside. I got a lot of the stuff inside. I think I talked about it. Maybe I didn't on the last podcast, but I did, yeah. We cleared it out as a bunch, but I still have a bin's worth to dispose of.
I don't know if you can hear it on the podcast. Kevin is wearing his elf shoes with the little bells on the toes.
They're warm. It's cold in this house.
Yeah. Keeps the toes warm and festive.
Toasty toes.
Yeah. I don't know. It's not ideal. Trying to get to it. We have like those big ornaments. They're like proportion wise, they look good on trees. They're big plastic ornaments. Mm-hmm. Those got to go. We got to get rid of those.
Just throw them away?
Well, no, I just mean
donate them?
What are we doing here? We're halfway through January. We still got our
yes,
ornaments.
Those are the things that are hanging out your front.
So, excuse me.
Yeah, well, put them away. They're gigantic.
Everyone's looking. The white lights out front. Now, it kind of just surrounds our front area, right? It just kind of goes up around the door and down. It looks so nice.
But you still have it on?
Yeah, well, they go on in the evening. It just brightens it up a little bit. Do those got to go as well? Or do you got to switch the light? Do I got to go cafe bulb? You know what I'm saying here? I think we like the little ambiance.
They're white?
Out front. Yeah, they're white.
I mean,
a warm white,
okay.
If you want to even get that far into it.
Okay. You can leave them. Keep in mind, all of your neighbors know it wasn't a fashion decision, a style choice.
A house fashion decision.
They know that, they still haven't taken down their Christmas decorations.
I know, okay. I think that means you got to switch we got to go cafe bulb or something.
You don't talk to your neighbors anyway.
That's true. What do I care?
What do I care? Out of like a weird who cares pride, because same, raining, not putting anything away, and then there was one it was like an hour or something where no rain was happening. Yeah. And I went outside to the garage to get something. I came back in and I saw the plug that has the timer, and I just ripped the thing out of the wall. I was like, no, we're done. And then it was still 4 days before I took down half of the lights. I took down all the scary ones, the ones on the roof. Had a nice day. By the way, hey, it's not a great idea for the day after all this rain to be like, all right, next day I'm going to take this stuff down. We got to get rid of it because the ground is really soft.
The ground is really wet and soft and
it
gross.
Was it was being on a ladder on a waterbed. It was not.
You put the ladder down, the feet go 6 inches down into the ground. If anything, don't you feel like it's anchoring you in there, or is it just it's gushing all over?
I just have rose bushes nearby, and I don't.
That's what you're concerned about.
I need dumb dad moments for the podcast, but I'm not interested in that.
But the ground is soft. You fall off, it's just going to be a big splat.
Then I get sucked into the upside down. They weren't even
true.
Know where I went. It looked like I disappeared because the ground.
There's no way to tell when you'll be back either.
Mm-hmm. It's a sad story.
It's a really sad story. I couldn't do anything about it. You're just gone. Kevin's gone.
But I got to take the rest down. By next podcast, before February,
what are you
let's
doing?
try to get
our
holiday decorations down.
What are you doing?
Before next Christmas. Well, you got to take them down, then you're just putting them back up again.
My buddy and I always used to do that. When you don't know the time of something, you say it's going to happen between now and 11 days from now. When it's something that should happen that afternoon. It's we'll get to it. Don't worry. It'll be this week. It'll happen. Dinner tonight? We have to make dinner tonight. We're out of nuggets. Kevin
that
told
sounds
us we're
like
out of nuggets.
That sounds like how you make dinner plans with like a plumber.
Yeah, exactly. The window of the window of opportunity when the guy might
I'll be
show
at the
me
restaurant either Tuesday or Wednesday between 3 and 6.
How did that become a thing? Like when we were kids, pizza was 30 minutes.
Or it's free.
30 minutes or it's free.
Now it's an
The
hour.
plumber's like, we're not playing that game. Cable guy too. No, solidarity, brother. We'll be there on Saturday.
Yeah.
How about that? I think it used to be a window.
Yeah.
Now it's just, yeah, we'll show up.
That's why we do it ourselves now, Ev. That's why
right.
we
That's
DIY.
why dads were like, how about this? I will take that and use my little to no experience and a little bit of YouTube and figure it out myself.
And next thing you know, this job will be done either Saturday or Monday between 3 and 6.
Between 3 and 6. Done.
Maybe next
Working, not sure.
I'm going to find a problem in the wall.
I'll be done. You'll be calling the plumber on Monday between 3 and 6 to finish what I started.
And I apologize to my wife. Speaking of which, what'd you do dumb this week?
My dumb dad moment this week, it kind of stems back into the holiday season a little bit.
Okay.
And I say that because, as you know, long story short, nobody cares. We live in a small little space right now. We got bumped from our previous landlord into where we are now. We're currently trying to find a house, but it's a long process.
Sure.
So we're in a bit of a shoebox feel at the moment with a couple kids, all things considered. So I say that because a lot of times my wife and I have figured out how to do, when you go to IKEA and like you're walking around going, and it's like, this room is 480 square feet. And you're like, how? I live in there. That's amazing.
Right.
How they've done that. My wife and I have gotten better at that. You kind of got to go vertical with a lot of your stuff if
Correct.
you're kind of outgrowing your space and you can't get out of your space just
Correct.
yet. All that to say, one of my son's gifts this year was one. I don't even know what this thing's called, but we've all seen it because it's been around since we were kids. It's a glass ball, and you turn it on, and it looks like lightning is just trying to escape the thing, and you put your hand on it, and it's static electricity. It's like, all the little bolts go to your fingers, and you look like a mad scientist kind of thing.
Yeah, everybody's put their nose on it.
Yeah. Every time they would go to the mall into like the knowledge store or whatever.
Did you not put your nose
I did.
on
I
it?
just thought about other things to put there, and it's a family podcast. We're not going to go there.
What? Oh, I'm not. Never.
So,
I'm not going to your house anymore.
If you do come over, will you bring me some nuggets? Because I'm out of
Bring you
nuggets.
some hand sanitizer.
And so my son loved this thing. Every time they went to like the brain knowledge store, the store that's in your mall for like 4 months out of the year before they close, and then they just go to a different location.
It's like a
The
Brookstone.
puzzle store, yeah. Whenever they went in there, my son went right to that thing and like play with it like the whole time. And loved it. So we're like, all right, let's just get him that for Christmas. It'll be a part of his Christmas. Get him one of those things. He loves it so much.
It's fun.
Even though I know as the dad, he's gonna play with it for like 2 days. It's gonna be so cool, and then it's just gonna sit there, which is fine.
Because it's supposed to just sit
It's
there.
supposed to just sit there, but he's never gonna whatever. It's fine.
That's a
He
cool
loves
thing.
it though. He thought it was like the cool. Like it blew his little brain. Like it melted his brain. How cool this thing was. Like great, yeah.
That's a cool thing to have, and everybody has. That's what kids do for everything. I mean,
Yeah,
everything you get
exactly.
at kids, they eventually get sick of and over with. But what's funny is I remember being the kid going to like a friend's house and them having something like that. Maybe even that exact thing.
Yeah.
We never owned one growing up.
Yeah.
And I remember going over there like, whoa, this thing's awesome. And the kid's like, yeah, it's all right.
Yeah. It's not bad.
Well, that thing, it's all right.
But this thing's called a Super Nintendo. And oh my god. And so yeah, so it's sort of like the dumb parenting moment is like, yeah, let's get him that. When we don't have a lot of room to put this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But he loves it. Thought it was so cool. It's his lava lamp for now. Or his little thing that he just think like. Plus, I thought like, it'd be kind of funny to do like a mad dad scientist something. Would somehow work with this thing. Anyway, cut to this evening when I'm like, hey man, I'm gonna try to be at your house early. We got some stuff to do tonight. I'm gonna get there early. I'm like less than 5 minutes from leaving the house. I'm literally packing my bags, and I hear just shattering glass noise from the kids' room. My son comes running down the hall, screaming, crying. He overreacted. Let's just say that. I know he's 8. He acted like it smashed somebody in the face.
Yeah.
It's his new gift, so I also get that. But it was a bit of an overreaction. Anyway, I think my daughter was trying to get something off the top of the dresser where it was and pulled something off, pulled it with it.
Sure.
I mean, here's the thing, man. It hit the side, the corner of like the metal shopping cart that's in the kitchen in their room, the where they play kitchen.
Yeah.
I mean, and this thing blew up, shattered into 1,000 pieces. Like it was under pressure, and it was relieved of its duties. I mean, like,
oh no,
it's not safety glass, in case anyone was wondering. It's thin little glass.
Yeah.
That doesn't want to be a sphere, but it's being forced to be a sphere.
Well, now it's free.
And my daughter freed it. And the weird, like, metallic brain stuff that was coming out of that thing, you know, because thankfully it wasn't plugged in. Mm-hmm. Don't even want to go there with.
That's all I've been thinking about since you said it. That's all I've been thinking about.
I know.
Part of me is like, go outside and plug it in.
I know. Because I might, you know, if I'm close to it and I plug it in, there's an outside chance I could be Thor. Does that make sense to you?
You would definitely get a superpower.
Right?
Because the child college, community college dropout in me is like, I bet if you plugged it in, lightning would strike it.
And if I'm holding it and a hammer.
No, because it's going to be consistent, like from the sky.
Okay.
And then you jump through it.
Through the stream like I'm going through a sprinkler. Like a lightning sprinkler of superpower.
Yeah. And then suddenly, like, you don't have superpowers, but your like legs fall asleep now all the time.
Yeah, let's do this. I'll try it, and then the update will be next week on the podcast. I'm either going to have superpowers, and I can call my hammer to me, or it'll just be a solo podcast with Kevin. Will be here by himself because you'll know why.
Evan says his love. Everyone, he is recovering nicely. You wouldn't recognize him. The hair is gone.
Weirdly, his hair used to look like he got it, but now it's gone. Anyway, yeah. Not so much a dumb dad moment, but one of those things where it was like, as soon as it happened and I walk in the room, I mean, there's glass everywhere. There's glass everywhere on their stuff, in their stuff, part of the carpet, under the I mean, it's everywhere.
And it's the kids' room too.
Yeah,
so
it's the kids'
toys everywhere.
Yeah, well, yeah, Thankfully, the floor was spotless, and there were no toys anywhere.
They were just finishing tidying up, in fact.
So
flossing and brushing their teeth.
Hence me texting you going, we've had a bit of a mishap. It's not gonna be 6.
Yeah.
Well, I'm working on it.
When you said it's not gonna be 6 and didn't clarify,
I
knew something was wrong.
I knew,
and I was excited to hear it.
That's why I said, I think I even hashtagged our text, dumb dad. Something you knew, like
I knew
he'll have a bit of a
story.
It'll be a thing,
me.
yeah. There you go.
So
the warning. So warning. It's not safety glass.
So what's the plan? Are we gonna call it?
No, we have to replace it. I mean, he just got it.
Okay.
And he didn't even break it. I think the move is to replace it.
I know, but now here's the thing. Now the younger sibling has power. Now she can threaten him anytime she wants.
It was really cute. She felt really bad.
Sure.
Like I said, he's coming unglued about it, and she's coming into the room like, I'm sorry, I broke your thing. And she's like 4, so she doesn't get it, but she's also like, he's upset, and I think I did something wrong.
I did a thing. It didn't hurt him, I don't think.
Yeah, he acted like it.
Did he get zapped?
He acted like it hurt, yeah.
Did I release the lightning?
It's not plugged in. I know how things, electricity's not that confusing.
Is he Thor? Who's Thor? I think the next one you buy, you just got to like really dumb dad it and like bolt it into the...
I was going to say glue it to the dresser.
just drill it in there, baby.
I did the other, maybe this part of the dumb dad moment was like, so I start picking it up. I didn't even start picking it up. I started picking up the toys and like shaking out some of their toys. Like, let's make sure there's no glass in this nightgown. Okay, like that's going to the laundry, like that kind of thing. And then my wife comes in the room and she goes, "Is it really bad?" And I go, as sarcastic as I can say it, "Well, thankfully this thing's made of thin little glass, so it just broke into like 8 million pieces." And she goes, "Okay, we don't have to do that."
Oh, wow.
Like, we don't have to like make it more frustrating. It was an accident. I was like, I know. I wasn't like that heated about it, but that's the first thing that came to my mouth. And she was like, all right, it was a thing. We're just going to clean it up. And I think probably I'm compartmentalizing. Like, I got to go.
Yeah, you were annoyed.
Now this is on her to clean it up. and then start dinner and everything because I'm leaving. So I'm like, man.
It's just one more mess the kids made you had to clean up.
Yeah. At not an ideal
They
time.
made a mess on top of their mess. And it's not like a 5-layer cake that you can just, this is all fine together. Yeah. No, we have to separate the cakes.
Yeah. So anyway, there we are. Love you, babe. Thanks for cleaning that up. Because I had to go.
Oh, you didn't clean it up.
Well, I had to go.
Oh.
Kind of started it. Got a box for it. Got out the flashlight to find the little pieces. But I was like, I have to go.
How did you make this my fault? How is this? How are we twisting this? And Kevin is waiting on me.
You're not buying it? You're going to take any of the responsibility? How dare you?
Plug it in outside. And I will take full responsibility.
For my actions?
I will tell your wife, I called your phone, which is on vibrate on the dresser. It went zzz, 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 and kept pushing and knocked off the thing. I'll take full responsibility.
If his phone's anywhere near him when he turns that thing on and runs through that, his phone might charge immediately.
Mm-hmm. And then I'll tell her, I said to him, oh, you broke some glass? Whatever. Pound sand and get over here. Leave your family behind.
Please tell me you did something stupid this week.
Yeah, I definitely did.
I can always count on you, buddy.
You always can't count on me, and that's how it works.
I see. Yeah, because you broke the thing in my kids' room somehow.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see how your Benjamin Franklin experiment works. So my son started gymnastics this week.
Okay, here's the thing. I love this.
Uh-huh.
I love your son. He's like the clumsiest little 3-year-old I've ever met.
Uh-huh.
So it just feels like gymnastics. Yeah, I want a front row ticket to that show.
It's great. It's great.
I'm sure you're excited.
He's a clumsy little boy. He's the happiest about it.
Yeah.
He's never frustrated with his equilibrium not existing. He's doing great. He's the happiest.
That's the best thing about it is that he just goes through it like, isn't this difficult for everybody else?
Yeah.
I guess not. Who cares?
He's 3. He's 3, almost 4. And he's just putting in the hours. And he's just getting it done. So anyway, he started on Saturday.
Yeah.
We had it was obnoxious. We had such a obnoxious, cute family start to the day. I don't remember if both children were already in our bed or if they came in the morning. I think they came in the morning. I don't know. Doesn't matter. But because my son, it's a coin toss now. It's
sure.
like he'll either come in at 3 a.m. or he won't. Anyway, they were both in our bed in the morning, and then we're all just talking and blah blah, and we're like, you have gymnastics, we gotta get up and get this day going. What do you want for breakfast? And he was like, I want a puff pancake. And I was like, it's your day, man, let's get a puff pancake. And my wife was like, I don't think we have time for a puff pancake.
A puff pancake is a Dutch baby
pancake, which you're just making a bunch of ingredients that are all very similar to a pancake, and you blend it, put it in a hot cast iron in the oven for less than 20 minutes, 18 minutes, and then it just blossoms into this big, puffy, amazingly delicious,
so good
breakfast treat.
We've talked about this before on the podcast, and I think pancakes are fine because it's like I eat one pancake and then it's like I can't do that again. Now there's a brick in my stomach.
Yeah,
Dutch baby pancakes are money.
So good,
money in the bank.
And I've got it down to a science. Yeah. So I'm like, you got it, bud. We got to leave in an hour. And my wife's like, I don't think we have time for a puff pancake. And I was like,
well, not with that attitude, we don't.
That's what I told her. And and I was like, all right, let's get going. I'm going to get started on it right away. Yeah. And I'm getting the ingredients preheat in the oven. I make the pancake, and then we're getting everybody dressed, which is everything's going kind of fine. But the dumb dad moment was the pancake. Yeah.
And did you kind of know it?
Here's the thing. I routed us how long it would take for us to get there. And it was like, okay, it's whatever it is, 12 minutes. Yeah. And I was like, okay, great. So we have to leave in an hour. Perfect. And then cut to exactly an hour later. And I'm like, we gotta get out the door now. Like, and the time has increased now to like 25 minutes. It's a Saturday. I don't even know why that happens. LA's the worst.
It was pouring rain.
It was pouring rain, but there was no highway. There was no highway involvement. I would have left 45 minutes
Doesn't
early.
matter, man. It doesn't matter. People
I
can't
know.
do it. People just can't do it here.
So we get in the car, and now I'm in a bad mood, which my wife is now in a bad mood. We're yipping at the kids, and then my wife said something that just annoyed me. So I snapped at her, and then she snapped at me, and then one of the kids noticed, and it was like, oh man, we just like fucked this whole day. Like we had a good thing going. And we just got, I mean, me. It's mostly me. It was me. I was just like, this is his day. I want it. He picks the breakfast because this is his first class. He's a COVID kid. So, like,
yeah,
he didn't get to take any. Like, my daughter, by his age, had done, like, my gym and did classes at the Y, like, several different ones at the Y.
Swimming lessons.
Ballet
all that
lessons.
Yeah.
For her third birthday, she
I missed
did,
the
ballet
scary
recital.
Russian ballet teacher.
That was ballet and tap. That was great. No notes. Great teacher. Go back to other podcasts. Lucy, when she was like 4, had a Russian teacher. She was very mean, and I loved it.
Couldn't be more of a probably stereotypical Russian ballet teacher.
Yeah, I don't think she knew it was through Parks and Rec. Like someone had lied to her. She was like, "This is just for now, but we will go to the studio, correct?" And they're like, "This is
you complain when your toes bleed."
Yeah, this is the studio.
Yeah.
This is still better than Russia. So anyway, so it was just a bummer. And then as soon as like my daughter said something, I like apologized. I was like, "I'm sorry, Daddy's like, he got bent out of shape. It is what it is. Like, you know, let's all just try to have fun." And then the rain sucked. And then we got there like, it went from like all right, we're going to get there. We'll settle in and blah, 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 to like me driving up to the entrance going, "Get out of the car."
Yeah, kicking him out. I'll park. You get in and sign in.
And we got there and it was fine. It didn't start on time. Everything worked out. But it was like, how many times do we do that as parents where we are so excited for something to be fun that we make it exactly not that?
Yeah. I know what you mean. You place, because your kids don't even know what's going on.
No.
Right? And
that's what's so frustrating.
That's what's so frustrating. It's like, look at the fun. We took our son to Universal for his birthday. We're going to like Hogwarts. We're going to go see like Harry Potter Land. And like there, you know, when you first walk up, it's like platform 9 3/4 right there. There's a gentleman. They have like an improv trained guy who's like a conductor and like greets people as they come in. "Welcome. Oh, look at you." And like, you know, always very present in the moment, like the whole thing. And then you, at one point, then when you're like, "Wow, this is so cool," you turn the corner and it's like Hogwarts, the silhouette scale, weirdly version of Hogwarts is like glistening in the sun. Like as you see it in your mind.
Yeah.
Right? And we get there and we're like, both my wife and I know this moment's coming. And we're like, this is going to be awesome. And it's like you kind of thing where you're like looking at each other, you know, and it's a little bit into the sun. So the silhouette of it's there and everything. And we're like, "There it is, bud. Look." And he's kind of like looking, but he's like looking at this other building. And we're like, look at Hogwarts. He's like, "Uh-huh." And he like isn't looking at it. And we're like, "What do you think?" And he's like, "Yeah," because he's not looking at it. And then I'm like, "Dude, look." And I go to grab his little head, honestly, not in any mean way, but to like guide his head. Yeah. Because we're trying to like say we're doing the thing where you're like, look, and kind of pointing, but it's bright, so he can't see, and he's like not getting what you're saying. Yeah. We're like, "Buddy, look," and I grab his head, and he like freaks out that he didn't like, because it startled him.
Oh, sure.
So it was like, oh, now he's crying, and it was like, "Daddy scared me." It was like, "Oh, I was trying to show you and he's like, "I saw it." And we're like, you didn't, but
honey, you can turn the camera off now.
I know. And then none of it was like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know what you're saying. It's so innocent. And you just want him to experience it. Mm-hmm. And he really wasn't looking at it.
Correct.
As much as he was like, I saw it. And we're like, you didn't. Sure, I believe you. And you're telling the truth, and I believe you. But we know that you are lying and you didn't. But
you want to get out of this scenario. And
and we want.
I do too.
Yeah,
now I want to.
I can't believe we're doing this right now. I can't believe we're consoling you when this is supposed to be like, whoa. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's just like sometimes your expectations of this moment get all caught up in what you think is going to happen, or whether or not he did see it. Like, who cares?
Yeah,
who cares if we looked at it? It was like, oh, it looks small. Like, who cares?
Well, that's what it comes down to. And my wife kind of called that out when she was just like, I don't think we have time for that. And I'm like, but he wants it. And it's like, it's such a lame excuse because not to be like, to be that parent who's just like, he's not going to care in 10 minutes.
I know.
He wants it. Like the amount of times, and we all do it. We all give into it. Every parent does it. But every once in a while, you got to not give in and just be like, because you're not going to care that much. So it was one of those things where it was a bummer. It turned out great. We went to the class. I've said this before and I'll say it again. When my children, like my daughter now, she's kind of aged out of it. Real bummer. Milestone gone where you can kind of, and I say this with love, but root against them. You don't want them to get hurt, but you want it to just go as ridiculous. I don't want them to listen, it's funny when they get up and the teacher's like, we're going to do somersaults. And then kid jumps up and he's like, I know what a somersault is because I went to my uncle's beach house this weekend. They're like, sit down, stop talking. That's the best. Every time kids are disturbing the piece and not listening to the teacher, it's my favorite thing. So I'm not rooting against him, I guess. I'm rooting for him to be ill-behaved.
You're just rooting for him to be you're not even rooting for him to be ill-behaved. I don't even think what you're saying is you want to just be himself.
Yeah.
Because you kind of see what might happen.
Do not respect the authority in this room. Go nuts.
Even though she's getting extra credit or whatever she's doing to get this, she's not getting paid. I know that.
Yeah. And,
it's part of what makes it so she can go to this gym because she's a really good gymnast.
Yeah.
It's part of her session fee.
She was she was funny. She was young. I don't know that if she was a gymnast because it's for 3-year-olds. But what was really funny is I don't know if she's worked with kids before. Mm-hmm. She did an okay job. And that's an important choice of words because when the class ended, I had to take my daughter out because she was getting bored. It was a 45-minute class. So we walked around, watched the basketball, came back. And then at the end of class, just, okay, so that was your first class. It went okay.
Really? Because we were having a great time watching.
You think? Okay, all right. But yeah, that was that. And then it's funny is I carried that over a little bit. My wife had to check me on this one. I didn't get angry like I did in the car, but then we went to Target, and I don't know if it's COVID or the kids, but they don't do stores well.
They don't do stores well.
Yeah. Because they're so excited. They're not horrible. They're not putting their hands in the aisle in the shelves and just running and knocking
supermarket sweeping the place.
No, they're not tossing the place. We don't allow that, and they know that. But they are just bright lights going this way. A lot of redirecting, a lot of just all the cliches.
How often do you go?
That's the thing. We don't go a lot. I don't take the kids a lot.
That's got to be what it is. It's a combination of their age and that.
They're both in school now, so it's foolish to bring them, Kids are at school, I'll do food shopping. Kids are at school, I'll pick up Target. What are we doing?
I guess, yeah. I think it's funny because my kids aren't like that when we go. But we go, whenever we go, we take them a lot.
Yeah. Doesn't happen.
So... But I think your kids, I don't know. A lot of times I see the little small difference between our kids. My kids are so afraid to get in trouble, which I think is a little bit weird because
you grab them by the head.
Because it's not like we are. I don't know. It's not like I would have to scream at my kid in public.
Yeah.
I wouldn't wait and take him home and sit him down and like lay into like none of that.
Sure.
But I will say this: my parents weren't like that to me either. No, I don't recount like my mom and dad like sitting me down, like screaming at me or like belittling me or anything like that. But
your therapist hasn't pulled that out yet.
we haven't gone down that far into the hole.
Okay.
I guess.
Yeah, you'll get there.
But I mean, in truth, I don't remember that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Once. Like 3 times in my life, getting spanked for something that I really shouldn't have done, even though I knew I shouldn't have done. Like small, like barely ever. Mm-hmm. But I hated getting in trouble. I don't like getting in trouble. I don't like anybody feeling upset. We've talked about this. We're both people pleasers. I don't like people being upset.
Yeah.
In a bad mood. I try to lighten the mood. That's why I'm constantly reaching for jokes. I just don't like people being upset.
Yeah.
But for them, they're just like a little bit running around, but it's like, hey guys, come on. And then they kind of come back to the cart or sit in the cart or whatever. It's mostly like, stop bickering. That's like what we talk about.
Oh yeah, they don't bicker at all.
It's not like stop running around and grabbing stuff. Or like,
no, they get
where
along.
are you? Like that doesn't happen that much. I think
they get along like they're in cahoots.
But sometimes I think like, be more like that.
Well, that was the thing. That was the point. Is that I kept being like, God, come on, this way, come on.
Yeah.
And then my wife just turned to me and went, we've got nowhere to be. And I was like,
what a reset.
It's a great point.
Yeah.
What am I in a rush to get back home and then just do something
spend
there?
that energy at our house?
Yeah. It's like, all right,
it's
guys.
a little bit of your embarrassment in public. I get that. Like either way, whether your kid's having a tantrum or running around grabbing something, like,
sure.
I get that too. Like you're an adult, you can't control your children or whatever. You should be embarrassed right now. Like whatever.
I do
That
get
should go
anxiety when they grab like a shirt that's like folded. When there's like, I like this, and I was like, someone's gonna have to fold that.
Somebody has to do that. Somebody has to like come back and do that again.
Yeah,
they do it all day long, man. Yeah,
I know. And
I did it. I worked at a job.
You're not the
like
first kid to come into the store.
Yeah, exactly.
And not the last.
And you know, you should have a sign that says no kids allowed. How about that, huh? No kids allowed in Target. If you don't want them.
Which Target?
Where is it? Do they serve drinks at the front?
They have like a coat check, but for kids.
They have an IKEA. Have you noticed that?
Yes, I saw that. They have a kids drop.
Not open since COVID, but last time we went to IKEA and our kids were kind of running around, it was like, wouldn't it have been nice to just check them at the front door? Mm-hmm. Like, go to the play area. We're going to go shopping.
So that's my little tidbit, guys. Just take it easy. Just take it easy on the fun moments. I'm not going to give advice. This is more of like a Aesop's fable. Like,
how not
learn
to,
from my mistakes.
Yeah, we talked about almost the exact same thing before, where I told you I sort of chastised my kids for like climbing on the cart and when I'm pushing the cart around, like being on the cart, as if we're going to get in trouble from somebody. I'm like
this 16-year-old.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, in that moment, Stan, I think I was in Target. I'm standing there going like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I wish if your wife was there, she probably would have talked to me a lot earlier. It probably was way too far into it before I'm like, Evan, come on, man.
What are we doing?
What are we doing here? Well, you want to be a cool dad? You want to be some strict dad? Your kids aren't even allowed to like giggle at Target. Like, what are we doing?
This is a place of respect.
Live vicariously through your children, because you know what? The youth always wins. How about that?
Oh, because we get old and then we pass.
Yeah, exactly. And they're running around Target with all the time in the world.
Made it dark. We're going to leave it there because we always like to leave it sad. All right, so before we wrap this up, we have a dumb parent submission.
Oh, thank God. Okay.
So
it always makes me feel a little bit better to know that there's other parents out there making somewhat of a mistake.
Always.
And we don't root for the mistakes. Like you're saying, we don't root for your son to be a horrible person, but we do like to know that he's going to be himself out there on the mat.
This one is from CJ. CJ, thank you for the submission.
Thank you, CJ.
CJ from Montana. They named this dumb parent moment the Christmas Cookie Caper.
Oh.
Yeah.
What? Oh, it's a story.
It's a story.
Okay.
It says, hi, dummies. I know we're a smidgen past the holiday season, but I've got a dumb dad moment from a couple days before Christmas.
Perfect.
Our son turned 2 in mid-December and sampled his first taste of holiday cookies on his birthday. He loved them. That's an important fact for later.
I can only imagine.
Be weird to give us a detail. Anyway, he's in the toilet.
Pants.
A couple of days before Christmas, I'm working from home and watching our son while my wife is at work. Before breakfast, he saw some Christmas cookies on the table and asked for one. That's nice. Good job asking.
Yeah, that's very nice asking.
I said no. We had to eat breakfast, and we would have cookies later today after lunch.
He must not have been his first gymnastics class.
A couple hours later, I'm washing my hands in the bathroom, and I hear a rustling noise that I can't quite place. I call my son's name, and the rustling stops.
Uh-oh.
As I'm drying my hands, I hear the rustling again, and I head down the hallway toward our kitchen. I see that our son has slid one of the kitchen chairs out, climbed on it, grabbed a plate of cookies that were saran wrapped, and put them on the floor, removed the saran wrap, and was chowing down on Christmas cookies as fast as he could. I wasn't even upset because I found the whole situation so darn funny.
Yeah.
And then he attached
rustling.
He attached a pic that obviously we won't show, but of the proud
thief. He looks pretty excited about it.
Pretty pumped about it.
He also looks like he's in a sugar coma. He looks like he's under the influence.
It's gonna be hard to
sugar.
get to nap time, but when you're there, it's gonna be out for a while. In Dumb Dad Solidarity, CJ from Montana. That is fantastic.
That's great, CJ.
You've got to. That is a dumb dad moment because, it's not hard to kind of figure out the clues the kids are giving you. Can we have cookies? No, we'll have them later. And the kids are like, great. Yeah. Later, I'll take it. Now you got to move them. You got to get them out of reach.
Right. Yeah, that's right.
Although, kid did get a chair. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I can't really get mad at the kid for that. I mean,
No,
what Kevin's really
mad
saying
at the kid.
is, don't make Christmas cookies. Don't have any festive holiday spirit. Is that what you're saying, Kevin?
So next week you'll have your holiday decorations down. Happy Valentine's Day. Nice Christmas lights.
Well, okay. It's brightening the spirit of my heart. How about that?
CJ, thank you for the submission. And if you guys want to submit, I'd love to hear it. Write in to us, dumbdadpod@gmail.com. Or you can DM us on Instagram. Our handle is @thedumbdads, which is our handle on TikTok and Twitter and YouTube, where you can watch full episodes of this podcast. So please check them out. Thanks to Adverdu for the intro and the outros and the midtros. We don't have anything in the middle.
He's a creative guy. He made our music. Thank him for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At Verdu on SoundCloud. And thanks as always to my lovely wife, Annie, for editing this podcast. Do you have a dad joke that's so bad?
Yeah, I do actually have. I have two dad jokes that are
to be
so
good.
bad. Because when we were setting up today, I opened the book to like these two jokes.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, this is the thing that we're like, what's the deal with dad jokes? There could be like a documentary made on this. Like, sometimes you see videos online of people doing like, don't laugh, right?
Uh-huh.
Maybe that's what it is. You can't laugh. We're going to go joke for joke for joke. You can't laugh. And so the idea of not laughing makes it funny.
Uh-huh.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Whereas like we've flipped through this book and we always go like, dad jokes are so like.
They're supposed to be groaners.
Doesn't get any more groany than these two jokes.
Okay, let me hear them.
Dad, I got hit in the head with a cola today.
Oh my gosh.
Dad says, well, at least it was a soft drink. Like, first of all, of course that's the joke. I knew that before I read it. But the setup, Dad, I got hit in the head with a cola today. What?
Are you okay?
It's just a forced. No, you didn't. Because nobody does.
The best part is like the third panel is the like mom walking in the room with like a towel filled with ice looking at him going, oh my God.
Yeah. Wow.
She's concussed.
That wasn't even a setup, honey.
Come on. I'm trying to have fun.
Mixed nuts right next to
one
him.
more and let's shut it down.
Sorry, dogs cannot operate the MRI machine.
That's just a across the board statement.
Yeah, right. Exactly. And the punchline to that is only CAT scan. Come on, man. I bought this book, which is just
You paid for it?
I think so.
Oh.
Handing somebody money.
Don't buy that book. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
Welcome to the world, little one. Welcome to life.
How do I stop this?